People raised in survival mode tend to develop relational patterns that are rooted in self-protection, hyper-independence, and even scarcity thinking, And this is not because they are selfish. It is because their early environments taught them that safety and love are conditional, that safety and love are unpredictable, or even worse of all, they are unavailable. And as a result, the idea of loyalty and collaboration becomes very warped. Let's start with loyalty. When you're raised in survival, where love is earned, trust is often broken, and even resources, both emotional or even material, are limited. Loyalty becomes transactional. You're only loyal as long as the person stays useful, as long as they make you feel safe, as long as the conditions are favorable. This is relevance-based loyalty, where loyalty is tied to status, it is tied to benefits, or even control. Where once your use fades, so does the loyalty. Vulnerability is seen as a weakness here, not as a strength. The bond is not with the person. It is with the resource. It is with the resource they provide. In contrast, there's the connection-based loyalty, the alignment-based loyalty. This is rooted in emotional safety. It is rooted in trust and shared values. It is not based on gain, but based on presence and alignment. It allows room for imperfection and growth because it is about who you are, not what you offer. Now let's go to competition and collaboration. In survival, everything feels like a threat. And this creates a competitive worldview, even in personal relationships. Others' success triggers insecurity. Sharing ideas feels unsafe because someone might steal them. Helping others is now seen as self-sabotage. There is no we in survival mode. It is only me versus you. And it is a versus battle across all platforms. This mindset turns every potential collaborators into imagined enemies. Because in survival, if someone else is winning, then it must mean that you are losing. There is no belief in abundance or even shared elevation. Ati story tunaongelea the cake. The cake is too big. We can all share. From survival, you know nothing about that. It is a versus thing. It is a competition. Many people raised in survival learned that you can't depend on anyone. They learned that showing emotions leads to being used. They learned that trusting too quickly results in betrayal. So they move through life guarded, distant, and even suspicious. Not because they don't want connection, but because connection feels unsafe. They now confuse control for security, status for identity, and transaction for intimacy. You can only have intimacy when you have money. When you don't have money, yep, you are alone. And this makes true loyalty and collaboration nearly impossible. Not for lack of desire, but for lack of internal tools and emotional safety. People who carry this mindset don't need judgment. You have to understand that. They just need new experiences that shows them safety is possible. That shows them that collaboration doesn't mean competition. That loyalty can be mutual and organic, not forced or even earned through suffering. Trust is not naivety. It is discernment with an open heart. And once you begin healing and feeling safe in your nervous system, then you start to shift from fight to survive to connect to thrive. Survival trains you to be loyal to advantage. Healing teaches you to be loyal to alignment. And until someone transitions from survival to self-awareness, they will mistake usefulness for worth. And they'll mistake protection for power, never realizing that the deepest strength lies not in competing, but in belonging and building together. My people, heal. Heal.